What's up guys, my name is Single Player Nacho and welcome back to Dovey. Remember this place? After completing Resident Evil 7 for the first time, there were many questions that popped up in my head, and I mean many. And after completing the game over 20 times at this point, I figured, well, there just aren't any answers to these same questions. These are 5 mysteries that have yet to be solved in Resident Evil 7. The third phase of Resident Evil 7 is one of the most refreshing and new in the entire series. Having a villain maniacally play with Ethan with traps, monsters, and puzzles without actually facing the villain himself was, well, it kind of pissed me off actually, but it left me with a bigger impression of Lucas and the fact that he does disappear and isn't seen again. That's beside the point, however. The bigger mystery is how Lucas was tied into E-series knowledge and contacts. Now, hypothetically, we do get a clue of what's in store for Lucas with Redfield on the hunt for him, but this still stands as an unturned answer as of now. There have been leaks as to how Lucas and Redfield tie into the upcoming DLC Not a Hero, but that is to be taken with a grain of salt as of now. The ending of Resident Evil 7 was an obvious cliffhanger when a familiar face, minus the familiar face, comes in to save the day. But is this truly Chris Redfield? Theories of this man's identity have endlessly surfaced on various platforms, speculating that this is either a double agent, a clone, the character Hunk, amongst other candidates. The theories seem to solely speculate on the cosmetics of the character, but I can't blame them because yeah, this don't look like the Chris we know. I see the need to question Redfield's identity even more when we see him with an Umbrella uniform, which single-handedly represents everything that Chris is against. However, in recent years leading up to Resident Evil 7, the Umbrella Corps, known as Neo Umbrella, became a mercenary group, so it is possible that Chris Redfield joined the Umbrella Corps at some point in order to combat viruses and bacteria such as Evelyn, as well as retrieving samples to further battle corporations exploiting those viruses. Still, the mystery continues. If you haven't guessed by now, the Bakers are pretty hard to kill. They'd come back after like 5 minutes of sustaining a shotgun to the face. These characters do meet their end in the game, however, or do they? After killing Jack twice and Zoe most likely being killed whether you choose her when given the option, Ethan was still able to communicate with both of these characters after their eventual demise while unconscious. But how? Some believe that both Jack and Zoe were still connected to Evelyn's hive after death, which is why Jack begs Ethan to free his family from Evelyn. But why is Marguerite not present in this scene? I truly believe that Marguerite is dead because she crumbled into a pile of rubble, which is why she's not seen in this dream sequence. Jack and Zoe are the only ones present because Jack was cured after Ethan was forced to use one of the serums on him in order to pretty much kill him. And Zoe's fate is still unknown, but given that she's in the dream, something happened to her. Lucas is obviously not present because that asshole is still alive and well during this point of the game. Or was it simply all a dream? It's easy to get lost in the action of the game, but something that's easily overlooked is that Ethan is actually on his way to becoming infected. When reading documents that pertain to the E-series, a certain document discusses the step-by-step symptoms of infection. It's not outright said in the game by any character, and in a way, all the talk about curing Mia distracts the player from finding out that Ethan is in fact infected as well. The steps goes as follows. Infected victims are able to regenerate easily, an example being when Ethan connects his lost limb and walks it off as if nothing happened. Next, infected victims begin seeing hallucinations, an example being during the mid part of the game, Ethan starts to see Evelyn more and more. The mystery is, if Ethan truly is infected, what's next? So there you have it. After Evelyn's death, it's easy to come to the conclusion that Ethan is no longer infected. Still, this has not been solved yet. Being trapped inside a house with no knowledge of the outside world is troubling. What we do know that prior to Ethan's arrival, a massive storm hit the south of the United States. Jack Baker finds Evelyn in the aftermath of the storm, and Evelyn infects the Baker home and everyone in it. Resident Evil 7 was successful because it focused on an isolated incident, a small group of characters, and a restricted environment. But what exactly is happening outside this story? How is the world doing after conflicts that arose in Resident Evil 4 through 6? The biggest mystery doesn't revolve around the Bakers, Ethan, or Evelyn, but what we simply have no knowledge about. Who's to say that the water in Dovey is infested with bacteria, leading to yet another conflict in neighboring homes and buildings? Resident Evil 8, anyone? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to join the discussion and comment down below your theories and any corrections. I'm going to be continuing my exploration series with Dead Rising and Alien Isolation this week, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks for the support, nachos, and stay single.